Yeah, it really does. It's unfortunate because Michael was really good tonight. Gosh, I would have loved to send him out there, but with what he went through with that shoulder, we just felt that we couldn't do it. His pitch count was around 70, and it was frustrating. I was hoping it would be a quicker rain delay, but when it got to be 45, 50 minutes, it was frustrating. And it was the tale of two games.
With that 8-run eighth inning, how much does Josh Donaldson's 12-pitch at bat set the tone for what comes from Warren in that inning?
Oh, I think a lot. He made Adam work really, really hard, and he ends up getting on, and then it just kind of unraveled after that for us. So, he's an MVP, and he put a tough at bat on Adam, and then you're facing a guy that hits the ball out of the ballpark, and it was difficult.
The second half of this game obviously sort of eclipses what Sanchez did in the first half of it, but what's standing out about his at-bats and the success he's having, Joe?
I think he's really good at recognizing what pitchers are trying to do to him and making adjustments. He understands their repertoire, and he sees pitches, and he gives you tough at-bats.
Who else? In the middle.
Joe, is there a certain minutes timeline that you have for rain delay with Mike, or just because of the injury?
It's just kind of a feel, if he'd thrown 1 inning or 2 innings, you probably don't say you let him go back out there. But with going into the 6th inning, we just felt that it's risky for him, and that's not a risk that we want to take. He's important to us, and like I said, if he had only thrown a few pitches, you send him back out.
Who else? Wally?
Joe, I know it's going to sound like hindsight, but I also understand that sometimes the most important outs are not in the 9th inning. Did you consider, with the most dangerous hitters in the lineup coming up in the 8th, maybe using Betances in the 8th and Warren in the 9th?
No. Adam's been really, really good. Those are the first runs he's given up, and he's done his job. So, I think sometimes when you do something like that, it kind of, freaks everybody out in a sense. No, I didn't. I would have used him for 4 outs maybe tonight, but we never got there.
Susan?
Did you see one particular thing from Warren that he wasn't doing?
No. I really thought it was Donaldson's at bat, and then it looked like he got a couple pitches up after that.
Dan?
How much does the news about Eovaldi hurt?
Well, I had an idea of what was going on. It was just, it hurts. This is a guy that we were counting on, and obviously it shortens the pitchers that we can use. So I feel for the kid, because the kid works extremely hard and loves this game, and he's got to go through, 14 months of rehab, and you feel for the kid. But he'll be back, and his toughness will get him back.
Anyone else? Wally?
Joe, assuming you're going to need some pitching help tomorrow out of the pen, do you anticipate making a move or two?
Yeah, I'm sure we'll go in and talk about, what we have, what options we have, and, if there's something that we need to do.